Hey, I'm back. My name is Anne and I'm from Belgium. And this is my third week YouTubing or booktubing. And it would be useful, maybe, to present myself and tell you who I am by using the Booktube Newbie Tag. And that's what I'm going to do. So, first question, why did you start this channel? Well, two reasons. One reason is that I really want to practice my English again. Sorry, it's a bit public, but I know. The second reason is that I want to promote the literature that is written in my part of the world. I come from Belgium. I'm a Dutch-speaking Belgian, and I see our part of the world as my part of Belgium and the Netherlands, sorry. I believe that there are a lot of very talented writers, and whenever a Dutch writer is translated into English, I would like to promote it because they can use all the promotion they can get, because I'm proud of what our writers do. So I love their work, and not all of them, but if they get translated, they're mostly good. I believe that Dutch and Flemish writers don't get enough publicity, and I really want to promote them, and I think this is a cheap and efficient way to do that. That's why also this channel is bilingual, but I'll get talk more about it. So, and also, I don't really have friends that love literature. They love books. Some like books, but not the type I like. And in my family, actually nobody reads. Absolutely nobody. So I feel a little lonely. So what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, like I said before, I maybe can help you, direct you in the way of more Belgian and Dutch authors. I read a lot of translated fiction, because we are like I think how many people, if there are 25 million people in the world that speak, between 25 million and 30 million, I haven't looked it up, that speak Dutch in the world, it'll be a lot. So that's a half of Britain. So that's not much. So we read a lot of translated fiction, and that's also a way. For instance, we read a lot of Italian fiction, we read a lot of German fiction, French fiction, from the Nordic countries, but that's already very popular in the other parts of the world too. But it can be a way, if I've read it before, and if I see that it's being translated into English, I can also promote that. It's a little niche that maybe can be very helpful. Asian novels don't come out much in our part of the country. I'm looking for it, but it's less. So my little dog is jumping up. Here, wait. Here she is. That's the little muffin. She didn't like to walk in the snow. Huh? Here we go. And what are you most excited for about this new channel? Well, meeting new people, being a part of a community, discussing books, reading books together. There are so many things you can do, and hopefully I will be able to introduce you to new writers, and hopefully you love them. So yeah, why do you love reading? Well, it's the cheapest and safest way to travel. It's also a handy way to, well, travel even through time and through space, and it takes you everywhere. And that's what I love about it. It's also a very good way to learn more things, learn new things, learn how people react, other people's experiences, to see things from a different perspective. It's mandatory, I believe, to also read things that you don't agree with, because it's very important to learn to see the other side of things. It's free escapism. Well, free. Well, some of them are free, but it's easy to. It's a way of relaxing. It's a way of closing yourself off of the world if it's too busy or too stressful. And yeah, it's often a way to learn new things, also about history and about science and about philosophy and about other world visions and about other religions and other cultures, and it broadens your world immensely, and that's what's so beautiful about reading. And especially if you're able to read in different languages, you learn even more. Which book or series got you into reading? Well, I can't really remember. As a child, I struggled with reading and writing a lot. And when I look at my school reports, it's very depressing. They even thought that I would never be able to read at an advanced level. But if you tell me something, even from a young age, that I can't do something, then I will do everything to prove you wrong. It's like when they tell me she will never be able to read, well, I jump on it. I started reading like a maniac. So a book a day is still a thing for me. And from a young age on, and when I was like 12, I already started reading Anna Karenine and Dr. Zhivago and stuff like that, War and Peace. And I haven't read it since, but still, I did it. And I really liked the very thick books, 800 plus pages. I really love those. It's only since recent that I read books that are only like 100 pages or 150 pages. That's only a very recent thing, and I really enjoy it. So I will do more of that, that's for sure. There's one book that I'm still very fond of, and that's a Dutch book. It's called Kruistocht in Spijkerbroek. I think I've read that between the age of 8 and 10. I can't remember. It's a very popular Dutch book. A lot of people, especially from my age, think it's one of the most important books they've read during their youth. And it's a bit like a Harry Potter kind of book. It's about a boy who travels into time, and he lands in the middle of a children's crusade in the Low Countries during the Middle Ages, and he's dressed in jeans. So that's why it's called Kruistocht in Spijkerbroek, Crusade in Jeans. Excuse me. I have a sip here. Yeah. Then, what questions would you ask your favorite YouTubers? Well, not much really. Where do you get those free books? No. How important are libraries for you? I believe that Bob the Bookerer and Fraser Simons are very avid library visitors, and but I would like to know more about the other booktubers. How important are libraries in their life, and how do they use their library. I use it mostly to discover things that I wouldn't buy necessarily. But then again, when I read a book from the library and I really like it, I mostly buy it afterwards. Or when I feel the urge to make notes in the book, then I buy it afterwards. So for me, it's really a way, a cheap and easy way, because we don't have to pay here in Belgium to lend a book. It's really handy to discover new genres, also new things that are that you wouldn't do. And even I'm starting a reading club in my local library, and I would like to push people to go to broaden their genres. So I will. I think we will present 8 books. One is nature, fiction about nature. One is about history novel. One is about written by a refugee. Then one is by a person of color. Then one is female fiction. And one is contemporary fiction, but that pushes your boundaries a bit. And then we have sci-fi, and we also have a classic, but a Belgian-Dutch classic. I'm really looking forward to it. So people are responding very positively, so we will start in September. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also in an English-speaking book club, but it had been quiet dead for 2 years because of COVID. And that's a book club in Brussels, our capital, and which is not far from here. And but then again, it's Belgium. Nothing is far from Brussels compared to Canada and the States and whatever. So yeah, what challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, the fact that I have a bilingual channel, and I want to keep it that way because we only are so few that speak Dutch. My reach is very limited, and it's also I've only found one Dutch-speaking booktuber who only does in Dutch. But on the other hand, if I do everything in English, then the Dutch-speaking people will miss the Dutch books that haven't been translated. So that was one of my main focus points. But then on the other hand, I read a lot of English fiction and American fiction and translated fiction into English. So, and I can't speak about those in Dutch because they are not translated into Dutch, and that's also stupid. So yeah, I could do 2 channels, but that's also, I don't see the point really. If I just mention that it's in Dutch or in English, people click on it or don't click on it. So I don't really see it why I would do 2 channels. I find it overcomplicating things, but I really at the beginning I want to try to keep them together, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and well, yeah, there's a bus stopping next to me. I live just across a school, secondary school. So yeah. Yeah, but when did you start reading? Well, as soon as they told me that I couldn't read. Same thing with when I went to high school and then studied further. When I finished my studies, I started working for the theater, and there my boss said, "You're a horrible writer." So yeah, Since then, I've been working as a writer non-stop and making my living as a writer for about 27 years. I work now in an advertising agency where I work as a copywriter, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, that's what I do. Tell me something I can't do and I will do it. It's how I am. So when did I start reading? Well, yeah, that was it. But there was, I have to admit, there was a period in my life where I had a very serious accident in my house. I fell from stairs and my back was seriously injured, and I couldn't read for at least 2 years. I was in so much pain and so much. I couldn't even watch the television. I was just numb, and I couldn't even write, and that was the most difficult part, because I really love writing. It makes me so happy. I love reading and I love writing, so those are the two things, and my little muffin, those are the three things that really make me happy. And those were the hardest days of my life and years of my life, and it took me a very long time to get back into reading and writing, and I did it mostly through non-fiction, because that's a lot easier to process. And now the last couple of years, by the way, my doctor said that I would never be pain-free for the rest of my life, and now I have been. Well, the accident happened 9 years ago, and I'm pain-free since 2018, 4 years. Tell me something I can't do. Yeah, don't ask me how I did it. I think the pain is still there, but my brain found a way to avoid it, and to it's really weird. So I don't suffer anymore. I don't have any pain, but I can't lift heavy things and stuff like that. So I live around it. So I focus on the things that I can do and not that I can't do. So that's also a reason why I've been for a period of time not a writer, but worked as a photographer, because that was something I could do, and focusing on what I could do made space in my head that I was able to do the things again that I really enjoy. So without any pressure. So now I'm back to where I was supposed to be before the accident. But my life is so much better now. I've learned so many things. I've met so many wonderful people. It's amazing. And I would never have met those people, and I would never had those amazing experiences without that accident. So I'm very grateful for the accident. Not very grateful for the pain though, because that was anyhow. Where do you read? Well, at home mostly. I don't like reading in the bed. I don't read on the loo. I don't read in the kitchen. I only read in my living room, my sofa. That's where I really like to read. And I also thoroughly enjoy reading on the train. Whenever I go during the summer season, whenever I go to my parents' house, I always take the train, because otherwise there are too many traffics, because my father lives close to the coastal area, and there are a lot of traffic jams when people want to go to the sea and to the seaside. So yeah, I take the train, and it takes me about an hour and a half. So by the time I get back, I have finished a novel. What kind of books do you like to read? Well, I really like historical fiction. That's where it all started. Now I also truly enjoy literary fiction, uh, character-driven fiction, especially. It doesn't have to be plot-driven. It can be. I really like a really good idea. That's true. I really like some of Saramago's books where he, like for instance, where Spain and Portugal drifts away from Europe and how the people deal with that, or those kind of things I really enjoy. But it can be very character driven too, and that, like for instance, The Wall that I presented yesterday. It's one of my most. It's in my top three. All my top 10 novels, I think, are mostly character driven. What else? I'm really starting opening up to science fiction. The Employees, sorry, it's called Het Personeel in Dutch, The Employees in English, by Olga Raven. I really enjoyed that book. It's amazing. And then I also liked Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And then, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I like a really good mystery novel. I like a good, a thriller sometimes, but it can't be over the top. Horror doesn't do it for me. But horror movies don't do it for me either. I just can't get into it. I just look at it and see the fake blood, and I can't get into it. It doesn't scare me one bit, but where movies where everything is suggestion, where nothing happens but everything happens, that I love. That I can count me and I'm there. I hope that one day I will bring to you, that I will present you or introduce you to a book that you will keep in your heart forever. And that's what it's all about. Okay? Bye now. Ciao.